Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the Hello everybody, today we're going to be talking about tattooing some oranges for practice, and we're going to be unboxing a 5-machine tattoo set. So let's start it by checking out these machines one by one. They all come in bubble wrap, all new, everything's nice. This design, well, I'm a fan of this one. It's pretty chic. It's got designer coil packs, 10 wrap, of course. And on to the next one. Get an idea of what each one of these looks like in the set. This might look black, but it's actually a dark shamrock green. And then of course you have the lovely floral pattern on the coil packs on this one. This gun is heavier, so I'm guessing it would be best as a shader. This machine has the classic yin-yang dragon on it. And then once again we have a nice pattern on the wrapping of the coils. So that's machine number 3. This particular machine is a bit more colorful with some greens, yellows, and blues. Kind of reminds me of a sea turtle type pattern, and it too is quite nice. As you can see, this one is red. It's got some good weight to it as well. And again, we have some nicely wrapped coils with a floral pattern on them. Now, if you're not familiar with tattoo equipment, the way this gun, or what the people would like me to call it, is a machine. It is a machine. What it is it's basically 2 electromagnets. Electromagnet number 1, electromagnet number 2. They are energized with energy, and then they pull the bar down on it, and you have the striking motion every time it's activated. On, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. That's how they work. Up and down, infusing ink into the skin as it dries the needle. Anyways, moving on. Here is our first patient, a navel orange, and I highly suggest you use them when you get started. It's great practice, and this set comes with a lot of different inks. As you can see, the bottles of ink aren't that small either. They're actually quite nice size. You'll go through quite a few tattoos before you need to get more on the colors, at least. This is an aluminum carrying case. It's got soft padding on the inside, and it's got cutouts for your gun, for your machines right here and here. And basically, you customize that yourself. Once you unbox everything, you can pull out the inserts. There's inserts in here. You can pull them out and put whatever you want wherever you want. That way, you have a set ready to go whenever you need to go do a tattoo on someone, or it's just nice for storing. You get an assortment of needles of various different sizes. This is a flat shader. As you can see, the needles are all arranged in a flat pattern versus a round shader or a round liner pattern. You get lots of each different kind. There's 50 in a pack, so you can do quite a few tattoos with 50 needles. These are the round liners, and these are what we will be using today on the orange. So, again, moving on. This right here is practice tattoo skin. However, we won't be using it today because I find that oranges are a lot better to practice on because they have a curvature to them that you're not going to get with this unless you were like strap it to an armchair or something. And I find that an orange is going to be more closer to a human body as far as the curve of it. You know, you're never going to find a perfectly flat spot on a human body. Here is the clip cord and foot pedal. They are in a singular assembly for your convenience. You only have to plug in one thing, and it's this setup right here. And then you're ready to rock. You plug it into the gun, you plug it into the power supply, and you're ready to go. You simply, this is the foot pedal. When you step on it, it energizes the machine. Energize, not energize. Energize, not energize. So if your foot's off it, the machine's not running. If your foot's on it, it's running. We will get right into tattooing this orange right now. But I got to show you how to set up this machine first. This is a machine handle. It's what you hold on to the equipment with when you're doing a tattoo to somebody or something, in my case. And for the record, I'd like to say that I'm not an expert. I'm actually quite a novice in this game, but I know a little of this and a little of that, and I wanted to share it with you because every time I look on YouTube, I see a lot of guys who are saying, well, you know, and the funny part is that you're looking for advice and information, and all they do is sit there and they give you the third degree about how you need to go to school for it and stuff like that because they don't want a million tattoo artists popping up out of nowhere. But I don't believe in that. I believe in that people are gonna do what they do no matter what, and it's our right to tattoo each other. So let's figure it out. Let's do this together. Let's tattoo this orange right now. This is the needle I'm going to be using. It comes in blister packing, which means that it's sterilized with this stuff called EO gas. See? Sterilized by EO gas. And the way that you get this thing out is it's supposed to just peel open, but it's not going to give me that easy of time because I'm doing a video and it knows it. There we go. Then it should just peel right off. You can pull it out, and we're in business. Right now, I'm just showing you how to tattoo an orange. But if you were to tattoo an actual person, you'd want a very clean setup. You want a setup where there's no germs, you got to clean the table, you're not going to have all this box and everything in your tattooing area. You're basically going to have your ink, your machines, some spray so you can clean and wipe stuff as you go, and some soap, of course, to clean, and a razor to shave the body part that you're going to tattoo on your subject. So anyways, we've got our needle, we've got our handle, we've got our machine that we're going to use. I've chosen this one because it was the closest one to grab. You insert the handle of this into the machine. Inside the handle, when you get it, there is this metal barrel inside the grip. In order to release the metal barrel, you have to use the tool and insert it in here, and it's basically just an Allen wrench, and it'll loosen it up so you can pull this out. Then you tighten it back down appropriate to the size, the length that you need for the needle. Then you simply tighten the wing nut, and you have a machine that is almost ready to go. Very simple, very easy, very fast to set up. I'm going to set that down. We are going to need a tip now. These are stainless steel tips. They are reusable, they are cleanable, you can use them time and time again, and that way you always have a set other than disposables to take care of all your tattooing needs. Easy to sterilize. You can scrub them out with some pipe cleaners and some disinfectant, and then I would recommend if you don't have an autoclave, another good way to sterilize these is with boiling water and adding some rubbing alcohol to that water, because it'll allow the temperature to get higher and nothing's going to live through it. I'm not Mr. Scientist or anything like that, but I would feel comfortable doing something like that as long as it had been scrubbed well, sprayed with Lysol, put in a hot pot of water that had some rubbing alcohol in it, and boiled for about 20-30 minutes. You can be pretty sure that anything that would be in there is going to be dead. So anyways, I believe this is the size for the round liner I've chosen to use. In order to check, I will be inserting it into this ever so gently. I just want to make sure that there's not going to be any resistance, and it is. See how I can stick it through and it goes through just fine? No resistance. You don't want to scrape the tip of the needle on the inside of the tip of the what is this called? This is the whatever. You don't want to stick the tip of the needle and scar it on the inside of the tip of this machine. You don't want to do that because you'll bend the needle, and then whoever you're tattooing is going to get seriously hurt. It's going to feel like you're ripping them apart when you tattoo into them. Also, another hint is when you take a needle out of a package, get yourself a Q-tip, and let's say the tip of my finger is the Q-tip. Run that needle across the tip of the Q-tip like this, and the reason you want to do that is you're watching to see if it grabs any of the fibers on the Q-tip, because if it does, then it's bent and it's no good. You pull it backwards, and if you see it pulling any of the fibers, that means that the tip of the needle is hooked, and once again you'll be tearing into your subject's flesh in a way that is not pleasurable. Tattooing always stings, so you got to be aware of that, but there's nothing like getting tattooed with a with a hook tip needle. So be aware of that. So now we've got our gun set up, we've got our needle ready to go. Now we need to install our tip, and that is very simple. You stick the tip into the barrel, then you take your tool and you tighten the Allen bolt. There you go. It's in there. It ain't going nowhere. Then a few more things to get ready. We got to break out our grommets. We have to place them on the machine because that's what's going to hold the needle in place. See how I just put that green grommet on? Real easy, just put it on. Green grommet goes on the machine. Boom. Then you can take this tattooing needle, stick it down the barrel Remember, like I said, go gentle with it. You're not trying to hook it and damage your subject. In fact, I am going to take out the tip one more time. I'm going to take that out and I'm going to stick it through there without a tip because it's going to be a lot easier for me to do that without damaging the tip of the needles. This is actually a cluster of needles. It's about 5 or 6 needles all bunched together in one. And that's how you get the different thicknesses and the lines that people are tattooing on people's bodies. So I'm pushing this the eye of the needle on to the grommet that I just installed right here, and now that needle is on there firmly. Now I am taking the tip and I am sticking it on as nice as I can. I don't want to feel it scrape the side of the barrel. I don't want to feel any resistance. If I have to, I'll help guide it in. And Yahtzee. What we're looking for when we put this on is we're going to push right here, and we want, I would say for the beginners, no more than a width of a nickel or a dime coming out of the tip of that. And the reason why you don't want that is because that way you don't have to worry about going too deep into someone's skin. As you progress in the industry, you're going to develop a feel for it, and you're going to be able to, you know, extend the needle so it's like this, and you'll be able to hover over the tattoo and do it perfectly, or at least that's what I hear from the people who are in the business. Once again, I am not in the business. Nothing that I say is meant for you to take into consideration without consulting with true professionals, which I am not. So anyways, I've got the depth of my see how every time I push on this, the needle goes up and down, up and down. Okay, so I've got it set to the thickness that I want it to come out of this machine, and I'm going to go ahead and tighten it now that I've got it set to where I want it. See? We're all set. Well, just about. We still got to put a rubber band on it, because what that does is when you rubber band it from around this section right here, what that does is it keeps the needle from bouncing around inside the barrel. So I'm going to go ahead and grab one of the rubber bands and do that. Some people might say 2, but I'm doing it 3 times. So I've wrapped it 3 times around there. That needle's in there. It ain't coming off the grommet that I put on there. And we're ready. We're ready to go. We're just about ready to go. Now we just got to hook up the power supply, and we're in business, baby. This is a pocket power supply. Very nice, very handy, small, nice LED display, or LCD, whatever you want to call it. Either way, it's a nice digital display, and it displays the volts on the front of it. You simply take the power supply, set that down. You only have one phone jack. This one phone jack goes into the front of the power supply. Can't mess up there. Very simple. The clip cord is attached to the phone jack, and so is the power source cord that goes to the machine. I'm going to put this clip cord on the floor by my foot so I can control it with my foot from this point on. Okay, so that's on the floor now. Now I'm going to hook these prongs into the back of the gun or machine. You're going to see two small holes. You probably can't see it, but there's one right here, and then there's one up in here. Put that one right there, and there's one up in there, and boom, you're in business. This is not going anywhere. It's hooked up, you're ready to rock. All we have to do is plug in the power source, and you're ready to go. We're ready to tattoo some oranges. This is the power source cord. Gonna untwist tie it. Plug it in. And then you're gonna simply plug it into the back of the power supply. Right off the bat, it's showing us that we have 4.9 volts. I'm going to up that voltage to 7. Right around there. This needs to be adjusted, and I think I need to take one wrap off this rubber band. I think it might be on there a bit too tight. So I'm going to take one wrap off of here and see if that... Okay, there we go. So we're a little bit better off now. There is a plastic screw right here. You have to loosen it up in order to move the contact bolt up and down by twisting it like so. And that is how you adjust the machine. And in the business, I think they mostly go by sound. This is a good sound for lining. And I believe that's a good sound for shading. Lining, shading, lining, shading. Go by a sound. But anyways, do whatever you want. You'll figure out what works for you. For the purposes of this video, we're just going to be doing some lining on this orange. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this up to a lining voltage that makes that has a higher amount of striking to it. There we go. Now that I've got my machine where I like, and I have it adjusted how I want, I'm going to go ahead and tighten up this plastic retention bolt that holds the contact screw in place so it doesn't unscrew with the vibration of the machine. And we are set to go. We are set to go to tattoo this orange. Now we have to worry about setting up the workplace now that we've got everything ready to go. When you're tattooing a person, you're going to want to have lots of towels and napkins and things like that, but like I said, for the purposes of this video, we're simply tattooing oranges. I'm not worried about giving the orange some disease, and this is a brand new set, so you know, we're playing kind of by different rules here, and I'm just showing you how to set up the equipment. These are ink cups. You have two different sizes of ink cups. This would be considered a large ink cup right here, because you can get a substantial amount of ink in there, and you can do entire tattoos with this cup, just this cup of ink. Right here we have small ink cups, large ink cup, small ink cup. For the purposes of this, I'm going to go ahead and use a large, even though I don't have to. I just want to. But if you were doing a small amount of coloring and you didn't want to put a bunch of expensive ink into a container that you're going to contaminate, use the tiny one. You'll save money. You'll save money by saving ink. I mean, you're always going to have to use ink, so and you can't dip your the tip of your machine and the tip of your needle into your fresh sterile ink, because then you're going to endanger your next client. So you have to use ink cups. And for the purpose of this one, I'm going to be using the large one once again. So I'm going to put this away. Put that back in the box. Oh, and before I get started, this set actually comes with lots and lots of disposable tips. I mean, you get a whole box full of them. Look at that. It's got all that. So for the people who absolutely need to see it come out of a blister packing, because some people are weird like that and they're not going to trust your sterilization, that's okay, because you can still look professional as long as you have disposables. That's what's going to matter to them most, because if I met somebody I didn't know and you weren't my friend or anything like that, and you wanted and I was going to have you tattoo on me, I had better be seeing it come out of a sterile package so that I can feel comfortable. However, if you're my best friend and I've seen you clean it 100 times and I trust you with my life, then I'm going to be more okay with you using these on me, as long as you know, they've been sterilized, of course. And for the people who don't know you, you can explain to them that you boiled them. You can comfort them, and hopefully that will work for them. But if it doesn't, like I said, these are undeniable. Those are undeniable. They come out of a sterile package. Nobody can say anything. So, anyways, we've got our orange. We've got our machine. We've got our ink cup. Now we've got our black ink. This ink actually didn't come in the set. It's separate, and but it's some good ink. It's good black ink. They're all these inks are made out of biodegradable edible pigments in an alcohol polypropylene suspension. It's not going to hurt you to put it on your body. However, I always do suggest telling anybody that you tattoo that they might have an allergic reaction to it. That way you cover your bases, because if they do have an allergic reaction to some burnt aluminum oxide in the white colored tattoo ink, then you have mitigated your liability by telling them the truth. You always got to be honest with people, and you got to say, hey, this red might have red phosphorus in it. It might have some sort of red chili pigment in it or something like that. I don't know exactly what they make all these things. The whites are going to either be plastic based, or they're going to be made from like burnt titanium. That they make all these somehow. You know, that everybody makes a tattoo ink with something. The important part to remember is that they're all made sterilely. Well, not all of them, but these are. They're all made in a sterile environment. Mine all say that they were made with edible food pigments. Yeah, that's pretty much what you got to remember. And you always got to warn people they might have an allergic reaction. And then if they do, you're covered. Anyways, back to business. Gonna have to open this and unplug it. Comes with a plug. Got to be careful because I don't want to splash ink all over me. Okay, so I got that taken care of. Alright, I've got everything set up, and now all I need to do is fill the barrel with ink. That way I can start tattooing. Now, the way you fill the barrel with the ink is simply to stick the barrel into the cup of black ink and run the machine. It sucks it up while you have it in there. You got to be careful not to bottom out the needle inside the cup, because then you could damage the tip of it. You never want to put it all the way down to the bottom and step on the pedal, because it's going to damage the tip of the needle by hitting the plastic with it. So you just want to put it in there and do that. Then you look inside the barrel and you will see the color of ink inside of your barrel, and you'll have everything you need. So I'm going to switch hands now, and start tattooing this orange and move this cup of ink out of the way, that way I don't knock it over. Anyways, what should we do? I'll try and see if I can make a skull or something. How about that? So, get what we want going and just start tattooing. Made the general shape of the outline. You can do anything. We're just messing around here. Anything we do is no big deal. Just as you go, wipe it away to make sure that you're getting good ink penetration into the orange. That ink is set in that orange just like it would be in human skin. Now, I know my my art isn't as good as a seasoned artist, but that's why this is called practice. This orange actually is very porous. It's got pores in it, just like a human skin, and it's going to soak up ink just like human skin would. That's why these are excellent to practice on. See, I wipe it away, and it remains. So, anyways, let's get this skull. Keep it going. Let's not lose our momentum. Need a little bit more ink. A little bit more ink, and if you get some splashed on you, then that's because you went too low and you moved the cup. Hence the word practice. We gotta wipe this off. And sometimes you gotta wipe off the tip if you get too much ink in there. It'll splash around on you. But then you got something good. Yeah, if you can't tell, I suck, but that's why we're practicing. And a spinal cord. Don't know what else to tell you. Don't know what more to say.